The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to a show that only comes out twice a year.
Christmas. It's time again, everyone, for first impressions. This time, Kamen Rider
He has been on point lately.
Yeah, Zio.
Zio, we've watched 2 episodes.
Because that's all that's out right now.
And it told a whole story. So
It told
a story.
It told Bill's portion. Well, technically, Bill's portion of the story until we see him again in December with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to talk about what we think of Kamen Rider Zio, the last Heisei Rider, the 20th anniversary X. What we think. So let's start where we always do. The opening.
I hate it.
I like this opening a lot.
It's okay.
I hate this opening.
But it's still good.
Once again, we're going to be everything. Hate, loves it.
Yeah. I think it's good.
I'm really just starting to hate opening theme songs in general.
Yeah.
Because they're all just kind of blurring together.
They don't for me. I'm very good at compartmenting.
It just seems like a lot of songs these days. It's just like super loud techno beats and blah blah blah, and I don't like that.
Unless you're Gaiman, it's just hard rock.
Yeah, which was nice.
Or Coogan, which is just hard rock.
Fair enough. All right, so
Not opposed to electronic music. It's just I like it to be good, which I didn't think this was.
However we like it.
I thought
Which is good.
I don't hate it, but I'm still going to skip it.
I love the imagery on it.
I like this. I like the imagery.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
The imagery is nice, and how they spin everything.
And the
Even
rider
though it was
kicks
starting
in the
to
very
make me
beginning.
dizzy.
Yeah. The rider kicks.
Or at least they could if you stare at it too long.
Also love how they're really highlighting Fizes at the very front. I'm just like, I guess because those two are...
He's the easiest actor to get back.
They're always around.
They ain't doing anything else.
Both Kaixa and Takumi. So...
Now let's start with the first episode.
Man is in a mess.
God, I hate this main character.
What should we get the
Sogo?
cardboard? Because right now there's nothing. We know nothing.
Well,
about him.
when we open up with a complete massacre that takes place in a world where the color has all been turned to yellow,
and
Which,
brown.
admittedly, it was pretty cool.
just to see him murder things.
Yeah, just to see...
And I wonder
in front of a statue of
did
himself.
they show us his final form first?
That would be interesting. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
I don't think that's his final form.
Yeah.
You don't.
No. I think this is going to be like fucking Ghost or something where the final form is going to incorporate the previous writers.
But who
Or
knows?
Decade. Because we know Decade's a power-up form, not a form change.
Yeah.
Mm.
But the
Of course
first
it is.
episode starts with that massacre, and then we get to an T-Rex that sounds like an elephant.
Oh, no, not sounds like an elephant, was an elephant.
It was
Those
true.
were elephant sounds.
I'm just like... But it all happens so...
Was it really that difficult to get like a lion or a crocodile
Or the Jurassic Park noise, which everybody fucking uses.
Well, you could probably get sued for that. But...
Well, everybody fucking uses
To
it.
be fair, they use Doctor Who sound effects just willy-nilly in this show.
But
Remember Hurricane Jer?
remember her?
Yeah, I remember Hurricane Jer.
Is that the TARDIS?
But yeah, let's talk about the pace of this episode.
The pace of the first episode is
Kind of erratic,
And
tonally inconsistent.
I felt like I got whiplash. Because the first, 15 minutes, the first half.
The first couple minutes, it's like death, death and destruction, and evil king, and then we cut to, oh, I am main character protagonist man, and I went to the guidance counselor and said I wanted to be a king.
Which is a
To which I said, I already hate you.
I
already hate you.
I sort of do love how they immediately recognized that, and he was like, alright, so that might have not been the best idea, but it's all I got.
I love how his uncle is like, so you told her you wanted to be king. Oh, that's nice. Oh, God, I hate my life.
And then we go to feudal Japan.
And then we go to feudal Japan. But before that, we go to the dinosaur time where dinosaurs are elephants.
and don't forget that he's like, I'm that dictator.
Oh. I still want to be king, though.
And this is one of those ones where, the first actual of the main two writers that we see is the secondary.
Yeah.
We see
Yeah.
Gaze first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, that's...
Gaze
Ryuki,
and woman lady. Tsukiyomi.
Token
Yeah.
girl.
Togu girl.
As a Turkin girl.
Also,
girl.
apparently somebody broke down the actual opening, like the lyrics of it, and it's all references to past Kamen Rider shows.
That's cool.
Okay.
So that's a little thing. I think it's cool.
So let's talk about the time machines.
Time?
Can we talk about the terrible CGI and how it looks like it's from a PS1 game?
Can we talk about how that's just kind of a thing with Kamen Rider?
No. There has been great CGI in past Kamen Rider shows. There are some shots. It isn't this way throughout the show.
Okay.
Throughout both episodes, there are some shots that look pretty nice. There's that opening scene in the beginning, like the massacre scene in particular, where all the robots come and like swarm Omazeo. When they come and swarm him, it looks like a PlayStation cutscene from PS1 era. It looks awful.
It really does.
Yeah. The statue don't look great either.
The
statue of him.
That statue of him in his pose. That it says this is a commemoration of the first time he transformed.
I do like his henshin pose.
I don't mind his henshin pose at all. I like how the belt completely spins, which is cool.
I love the way that Gaze uses it, where it feels like he's snapping somebody's neck.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing, maybe?
Kayaksa, are you
oh my god!
Just to get your neck snapped again? Because goddamn, I'd die laughing.
That would be sort of
actually amazing. The first episode, all in all, was a just chaotic mess.
It's like...
But not enough of a mess where I was immediately turned off.
I understand you're basically just dropping us into the cold pool of time travel right away. They got it all out of there right in the first episode, which I was actually kind of glad they did.
Yeah.
Let's not waste any time building it up. Yeah, we're about time travel. Time travel. Here it is.
And our time machine is called Time Machine, and it can turn into a robot
and a ship
and a bike thing. That's a thing.
The actual time portal that they go through, I thought looked cool.
Yeah, it's
I thought that was cool.
And the fact that they can act they can interact with each other while they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I really like the like during the transformation sequences, everything that's going on behind them with like the watch pieces spinning and then forming on top of them. I like that.
It was kind of sensory overload for me.
You're not gonna like
Neo Heisei era henshin sequences are kind of sensory overload. Because there's so much going on. We have so many effects and so many noises happening at the same time.
Fucking genius. So that'll be fun when you get to that
one. Though in terms of...
Not saying I couldn't get used to it, it's just like...
In terms of the actual henshin itself, the belt is a little more laid back in terms of the amount of lines it gets this time around. It's not fucking Ghost where it has its own goddamn song.
Goodness.
It's just, Rider time! And then it says, Kamen Rider, and the name of the writer that he's doing. That's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the guy who does the actual singing portion is Ricky from Rider Chips.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I like how the year that the writer is from appears on the belt. Even Gaze is 2068. Zio is 2018. When he uses the build armor, it's 2017. So, some attention to detail that didn't have to be done.
There's also some other issues. Those issues come in the form of Bill being in these first two episodes.
The amount of goddamn plot holes.
Yeah, but that's literally not a fault.
Well, no, it's a fault of Build's because in the last episode of Build, when it's over, he's holding the Z-Cross watch.
Yeah,
but
the Cross Z.
Whatever.
Cross
Z, the Cross Z watch. But when he gets the watches from them in Zio's show, he grabs blank watches that turn into the Build and Cross Z watch. Yeah. And I'm like, but you already had... Never mind.
The literal problem with this was strictly because Build happened the way that it did. And the fact that they introduced him so early in that first episode...
he gets kicked out in 2017. He's like, I'm Kamen Rider Build. I was still on set. We literally finished wrapping Build 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. So, that part of the episode... I understand we're going to get a lot more from them in the movie.
I don't mind it as much because we're getting the most recent one out of the way fast.
Yeah.
I'll give him that
I'm
much.
okay with that.
It's just a problem of, alright, the fuck? And that's literally because of Bill just...
I also love how Ghost is so hated. Guys already has the goddamn Ghost watch.
He also has drives.
He hasn't used it yet, but he
it'll
already
be-
has the goddamn
He
Ghost
already
Watch,
has Ghost.
so we don't
be
have to
used-
see him again.
It'll be used in episode 3.
Oh, we'll probably see him at some point.
We
No.
probably will.
No,
Actually, I don't mind him as long as Honoré is not there.
fair enough. But so that's cool. I like his henshin. I like
Armor time thing.
armor time. I like his weapons. I like both their weapons.
Yeah.
Honestly, the funniest part of it was when he transformed to build Armor Time, and then Sento goes over to him and tries to tell him how to do the
Oh,
process.
she whispers into his ear, "This is what you do. You flick your hand like this, and you say, I have the winning formula,' and he still fucks it up."
Yeah, he does it with the other hand. And he like grabs a boob. So
This is episode 2. And he just goes, "Formula!" Yeah.
And then when he tries to use the thing, like a whole bunch of random phrases, like Build will have formulas. He has a whole bunch of random phrases, and all he has is just a regular incline.
He does a regular incline. It's a bunch of phrases just like, I don't know what's going on. And it's a complicated word. And even Build is like, this is disgusting.
Bill's looking at us like, he's just done.
I thought that was pretty funny.
That
Like,
was a funny
episode 2.
I think I tuned out when that was happening.
Episode 2 was a much bigger improvement over episode 1.
because it slowed down the pacing.
The pacing was slowed
I
down.
don't know. It's just that it's slowed down. It's just that we've adjusted to it.
That too.
We've adjusted.
It
adjusted to it a little bit.
It legitimately slowed down because
Can-
that first half of episode 1 was just everywhere.
Can we also
Yeah,
talk
that
about
too.
Zio's hype man with a book?
Wazoo.
Okay, here's something that I want to talk about that I actually really liked. You've got essentially 3 factions warring over Zio
Mm-hmm.
because OMG, he's just so cool, you guys.
I mean,
We have
Notice me, senpai?
yeah, that's what Woes is.
Yeah.
You have Woes, who is like, I'm going to make sure that history happens the way it is supposed to happen, and you become the evil king. You have Gaze, who's like, I'm gonna kill your ass. And then you have Tsukuyomi, who is, I'm going to reform you and make sure you don't become
And then
evil.
The time
there's
jackers.
then there's what's his name? Wall?
the time jackers. They're
The
another
time
faction.
jackers who
Which-
want to put a new king in power.
We want to put a new king in power, so there's 4. And I want to talk about how the way that monsters are created, I love it.
The giving somebody the power
Yeah.
of the previous count. No,
But they
it's,
take them out
Not
of time.
necessarily, not just giving someone the power of the previous Kamen Rider. It's okay. The guy's playing basketball. His ball goes into the road. He's about to get hit by a car. The guy stops time. He's like, "You were about to die here. If you want to keep living, make a contract with me, and you can go on living." And then he agrees. Turns him into a monster. I love that.
It's really cool.
I
and
like
the
that.
villains are so
It-
interestingly weird.
I mean, we've only been introduced to one of them so far.
I mean, I'm also talking about I keep calling him Bookman because I keep
Waz. I'm not going to call him a villain yet because we don't really know exactly what his point in the story is.
I'm calling him an antagonist.
I'm
Because every time, rejoice! You're in the presence of Kamen Rider Zio!
He's Ebony Maw from
I'm-
Infinity War.
fucking dying.
He's great. I love
And
him.
also, according to the book, this is when this is supposed to... can we just have a show about him? So
Now-
far, he's the most entertaining part of this thing.
Rejoice, for you are in the presence of Thanos.
Now, to be fair, they're all the 0.5 episodes, which you guys should have watched. You probably didn't.
I tried to, but Kiss Asian was...
Oh, there's your first problem. But Kiss Asian because it's terrible. But the 0.5 episodes do give a little bit more background into the things that are happening and telling us a little bit more about the characters. And the second one tells us that once Zio gets the Ride Watch, that rider technically no longer exists in his time. And we're actually told that by Sento.
Oh, okay, so that's why they just immediately get amnesia
Yeah.
and forget who they are.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
why-
even though they had the watches, they just weren't building...
Yeah, because he went to them in the future.
Okay, that just comes across as bad storytelling if you have to create a separate episode telling people what happened.
It actually makes a little bit more sense because otherwise I feel like the episode might have been a little bit too cluttered.
But maybe, but
The fact that
make it in a way that it isn't cluttered then.
once again, it's
I know it's easier said than done, but that's
That's your job!
that's your job, yeah.
And at least they do it in this way, like, all right, this is separate. This is exactly what happens. I like how they're reading from a script.
They really...
They're reading from a script in the 0.5 episodes, which is hilarious to me. And then the
Not
first
a fan
one,
of this.
they're talking a little bit about gates and walls, and they're like, all right, you two are a little bit blank slate right now. We don't really know you. Let's go into something else. I love it. And I think Walls actually speaks English because he pronounces Gates' name the English way.
Oh.
Yeah.
He says Gates, not Gaze.
Yeah, he says Gates. With like super English pronunciation. So I'm just like, I love it.
Now let's talk about the suits in action, because we haven't really done that. I actually really like these suits.
I'm not a big fan of either one. I
I-
mean, they're okay. I'm just not crazy about them.
I really like Zio's because it worked in a way I did not expect. Gaze, not so much.
I actually like this a little bit more.
Yeah, to each their own. Armor time is where my the aesthetic kind of dies for me.
Yeah, I'm with him on this one.
It's the shoulders.
It's kind of the shoulders.
The shoulder skeleton. If they didn't have those big things on the shoulders and just made it like, you can honestly tell that it is an homage to the specific thing.
I think the first person we see use armor time, correct me if I'm wrong, is Gates, where he uses Ghost.
Yes.
It looked awful.
It's the icons.
It looked awful.
If it wasn't for the shoulders where they had to have the sellable points, it wouldn't look nearly as bad. It'll be better once they go older because they don't have
Collectibles?
100 billion collectibles that they have to glue on.
So it'll make it a little bit more streamlined. I've seen the one for Kuga and Kabuto, and they look perfectly fine.
So yeah, right now I like how it you either get a weapon it seems like you either get a weapon or an ability. Using Ghost, you get the floating ability.
You get the icon ghosts,
and you get and when you build, you get the drill.
Not knowing what the hell I'm doing.
The drill, and you get the finisher, and you get something from the writer.
Yeah.
So I like how there are enough homages without taking. I'm so glad it's also not including the belt jingles when they do it.
It's
from.
That would be
awful.
That would have been awful.
It says like a phrase from the belt jingle, but that's it.
Yeah, but just because every time you go Armor Time Ghost, and it's just, and then every time it plays the goddamn Ghost Belt song, I would die.
It would have been longer than.
I know
it would have taken the whole episode.
Yeah, the time break thing, like when they use the finisher, it'll say the finishing phrase for that rider. So for Ghost, it says Kaigon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not every time.
I did it on purpose,
and it's not going to be like every time he uses build, it's going to go. Are you ready? No.
Now, of course, this is right before. By the time this comes out, episode 3 will be out if I put it out this Wednesday, which I'm going to try to do.
Yeah, so we haven't watched that yet. Can we also talk about the goddamn fact that they've already fucked up time travel?
It's because of Bill.
Not even. Well, not just because of Bill. They're trying to make this its own separate thing. So don't think about the ending of Build, which is hard when it was just 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
How
does this mess up time travel?
I don't think it messes up time travel. I think it's just because of the.
But I don't understand if
they introduced it on a confusing time travel as plot.
It was just shown in such a weird order, but that's what time travel does.
Because they went back and forth.
My biggest advice to the viewers: don't overthink it, because then you won't have a show.
They actually did do that. That was rule 3: don't overthink adult situations.
I was going to say, don't overthink the mechanics of a time travel movie.
Same thing, really.
But he gives them the stopwatches that turn into Bill and Cross's watch.
Yeah.
And you said when that is a thing, they no longer exist in the time.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
You're doing it again.
But they didn't exist until that moment, because once that happened, they got their memories back.
Yeah, the whole.
Then he sees, and then we show a clip of him seeing Build Armor Time, but that happens later in the episode. Yeah. I thought it was just from the goddamn movie.
Nope.
Which would have made so much more goddamn sense.
It would have. It's like the way, and that's the way that we actually hoped it would happen in the first place.
Well, that's the thing, because they had to. Well, the thing of because the monsters, you have to be in the specific time where it was created in order to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Like he was remembering, because when he went back and he saw them and their cafe's been all redecorated, that was in 2018.
Yeah, that was the future.
And then he had to go back to 2017.
But he remembered them in 2018.
Yeah, because he was flashing back, and because then he got his memories back, and he flashed back to 2017 when they killed the monster.
It's a whole causal loop thing.
Yeah.
Bootstrap paradox.
Bootstrap paradox. That's exactly it.
And I
hate those.
I love how when
I'll explain it to you later.
Yeah, I think I can understand.
When Sento and
what came first, chicken or the egg, kind of thing.
Yeah, I get you. With Sento and Banjo when they first meet another Build, and another Build goes up to Banjo and hugs him, and Sento's like, "I feel weirdly jealous." I'm just like, the ship was real. Because that's exactly how Build ended, really.
The ship has sailed, ladies and gentlemen.
It really did.
That was
It didn't even try
I also love how the end of episode 2, when they do the stereotypical, oh, now they're living with you bit, he doesn't freak out. He's just like, oh, okay.
All right. I love that. I was like, oh my god, they subverted the trope. I love it. He was like, all right, this is a thing.
Because
he's so fucking tired.
Instead of like flipping out, he just kind of like, there's just like a moment where like they lean over and they talk to each other so the Yongo can't hear. Instead of just, you.
I'm just glad they didn't do that. I'm just so glad they didn't do that.
He's just like, I just woke up. This is too much for me.
And he's like, do you think this will work? Yeah, unfortunately. Also, the goddamn breakfast that's in the shape of a clock.
I thought that was great. I was like,
it was cute.
It was cute.
It was cute.
Now,
like, there are so many things that are good about this show. The subverting of expectations. Honestly, I like some of the comedy. I like some of the characters. Not really the main character, but
he might grow.
I like the villains. I'm using that term for now.
Now, of course, this is still really early days.
Rejoice!
The shady characters.
I think later on, especially because we just got off a build, and that one was just fuckery in and of itself because that show ended the way that it did.
Until you ask.
But I feel like once we get to X8, because it's a lot more linear, it'll, like, at least that story is more linear, it'll make things a lot easier.
You said they're doing, like, probably 5s after X8?
I believe so.
I'm glad they're just not going in order backwards.
Yeah.
Jump around a bit.
Jump around.
Jump around.
Boom, boom.
But yeah, waiting to see exactly how this show is going to go.
I also, we didn't mention this, I like Zio's normal rider kick, too. Though we'll probably never see it again. Where the rider kick is...
We're never going to see any of these again, you know that.
And where rider kick is stamped onto his foot. I thought it was funny.
I love how the X8 one looks like a Predator. Another X8.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was in the preview for episode 3.
I didn't watch the preview.
I
never watched the previews.
It looks like a Predator.
Yeah, it does.
This is great.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I like Predator.
The movie just came out.
It did.
Marketing.
But
yeah, really waiting to see exactly how this show is going to go moving forward. It starts off with a mess, but it definitely got better episode 2 just because it slowed itself down. And once it did that, it got a lot better.
Meh. I'm not too crazy about this one right now, and holy smokes, that is a Predator. That is totally a Predator. I'm okay with this.
I'm okay with this too.
But yeah,
I like the designs of these monsters thus far.
Yeah, I really do. I like the way that the monsters look.
Just
monsters. The build monsters look really good.
But yeah, let us know what you think about the first couple episodes in the comments below, or episode 3 if you've already seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's basically the end of this video.
Yep.
Go ahead and join us on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, and
all
Twitter.
the things.
And we'll see you next time. Bye,
Bye, everybody.